All right, let's get right into it. You hear media monitoring tools and media monitoring software thrown around all the time, pretty much interchangeably. But are they really the same thing? We're going to break down why they're not, and why knowing the difference is an absolute game changer for your brand.
Because honestly, this isn't just about picky word choices. The decision you make between a simple tool and a full-on software platform, it has huge implications for how you see your brand, how you understand what's being said, and ultimately how you shape your own story.
And this is a really big deal. We're talking about a market that's set to soar past $12 billion by 2030. What that tells you is that companies are realizing this isn't just some back office chore anymore. Nope, this is a strategic, boardroom-level conversation. The stakes have never been higher. So, let's start with the first player in this game, media monitoring tools. The best way to think about these guys? They're the specialists. They're built to do one or two things, and usually they do them really well. So what is a tool exactly? Well, it's a piece of software that really zeroes in on one specific job. Maybe it's a simple alert system for news hits, or a tracker that only looks at keywords on one social media platform. It's focused.
And this analogy just nails it. A tool is like a hammer. It's perfect if all you need to do is bang in a nail, but a software platform, that's the whole workshop. It's got the saws, the drills, the sanders, everything you need to build the entire house. One is for a single task, the other is for the whole project.
And hey, let's be fair. There's absolutely a time and a place for these specialized tools. If your team has a super narrow focus, like you only care about tracking media hits for one specific product launch, then a dedicated tool can be awesome. It's cheaper, it's fast to set up, and it gets that one job done.
But there's a limit. There's a breaking point where trying to juggle a bunch of different single-purpose tools starts to cause more headaches than it solves. Let's talk about where things start to fall apart.
The number one complaint we hear? The coverage gap. These basic tools are just notorious for missing huge parts of the conversation, especially on social media. They often give you zero meaningful sentiment analysis, so you might see that you were mentioned, but you have no idea how or in what context.
In this quote, man, it just hits home for so many teams. You spend hours, sometimes days, every single week just trying to copy and paste data from 5 different spreadsheets into one report. You're so busy just assembling the data that you have no time left to actually think about what it all means. And this is exactly where the workshop comes into play. The integrated solution is a full media monitoring software platform, and it's specifically designed to fix all that fragmentation and busywork. See, the most important thing to get here is that a software platform is an end-to-end system. It doesn't just grab a few clips for you. It handles the entire cycle, from collecting coverage from literally everywhere to enriching it with valuable data, analyzing it for real meaning, and then putting it all into beautiful integrated reports, all in one place.
The difference really becomes obvious when you put them side by side. So let's do that. Let's really break down what separates a simple tool from a full-blown software platform.
Okay, just look at this breakdown. Tools might cover 1, maybe 2 channels. Platforms, they're multi-channel, news, social, broadcast, you name it. Tools have basic, if any, sentiment analysis. Platforms give you nuanced, brand-specific sentiment. But the really big difference is in the bottom half. We're talking automated data enrichment, integrated dashboards that are updated in real time, and the heavy hitters, narrative intelligence and AI tracking. These are strategic capabilities that most simple tools just weren't built for.
And that brings us to the future of PR and communications, which, let's be honest, is already here. The game isn't about counting mentions anymore. It's about pulling real, actual strategic intelligence from the noise.
So just ask yourself this. What's more useful? Knowing you got 400 mentions, or knowing that those 400 mentions actually fall into 3 very distinct narratives? One is super positive, one is kind of neutral, and one is a potential crisis brewing. The second answer is the one that lets you actually build a strategy.
Now we've got to talk about the newest and maybe the most critical part of all this, understanding how artificial intelligence sees your brand. I mean, this is something that wasn't even on the radar a couple of years ago.
This stat is just wow. Think about it. When someone asks a big AI model about your company, nearly half of what it uses to form an answer comes from earned media. The very news articles and stories you're tracking are literally training the AI that millions of people are now using as a search engine.
And this is that journey today. The story kicks off on social media. Then it gets picked up by the news. But it doesn't stop there. Now it gets absorbed into the AI's knowledge base.
And from there, it shapes the perception of your brand on a massive scale. If you're a serious brand, you have to be able to track this journey.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean for your actual strategy?
Well, the goalposts have moved. We're way past just counting clips. The real work, the important work today, is to proactively engineer your reputation, to understand and shape the stories that define you, everywhere, including inside AI.
So that leaves one final, really important question for you. Think about your current setup. Is it just spitting out a long list of mentions, or is it actually showing you the narratives, the real stories that are taking shape around your brand? Because at the end of the day, that's the only question that really matters.
If you're ready to make that leap from just counting mentions to truly understanding narratives, you should visit handraise.com. You can see for yourself how a modern media monitoring software platform is just fundamentally different from a patchwork of disconnected tools.